Hi, my name is Devon, and you're watching the Music Enthusiast.
I'll never be for sale, a walking fairy tale. I'm working on dying in the Hollywood hills. Someone you can't ignore. I'm dripping in Dior. I'm working on thriving into Hollywood hills. Once upon a line, Hollywood don't shine like it used to in the golden days.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Music Enthusiast, and today I'm here with Devon. How are you?
Hello, I'm really good, thank you.
No
Yeah,
problem. Yeah, what time is it where you're at?
it's about 4 p.m.
Okay, wow, it's 11
Yeah.
here.
Oh,
It's
11. Whereabouts are you based?
I'm in Montreal.
Montreal. Got yeah.
Yeah.
That's very fun. My dad was there like a couple a couple weeks ago.
No way. What
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like? What do you do there? What?
He was there with a friend watching racing. So it's that a little thing he likes to do. But yeah.
But yeah, how's your day been? What have you done?
Yeah, it's been good. I've just been doing a bit of writing in a period of downtime. I've got this song coming out on the Feb actually, yeah, I will say it now, Feb 10th. So there's like a bit of space where I can only do so much self-promotion. So I'm kind of like taking a bit of time to like do some writing and stuff.
Yeah, totally. And I heard that you're not the biggest fan of the time in between releasing and like making the song. So do you still feel the same about it, or have you like
Yeah.
improved?
Yeah, I definitely don't like the time around releasing is very hard, and the day of release is often, I always find it's quite hard for me. But then again, I feel like as each release comes out, I'm kind of getting better because I know what my brain's gonna do on the day. So like it's just a case of like noticing those signals and being like, all right, just chill out.
Yeah, and what do you do to sort of chill out to like get your mind off of the, oh my God, people are gonna hear my music sort of thing?
Um, uh, I try and like take some time, watch some movies. I really like to do that, and like watching movies is like my comfort thing. Like whenever something goes wrong or whatever, I just stop working and I go, I watch a movie or something, and that feels like a definite like cut off where it's like, all right, you stop working, let's go dive into something else, into a different like space, and just switch off for a little bit. And yeah, that's usually what I like to do. If not, I'm probably just writing because a lot of the time, as an artist, you'll kind of do more promotion than you are writing. So it's kind of a treat to write songs, as silly as that sounds.
Yeah, definitely. I got into music to movies more, I think like last month, and they're one of
Yeah.
my favorite things ever. So, which movies have you been loving lately?
Oh, this question always stumps me because every time someone asks me like, what's my favorite, like I just completely forget every movie I've watched. On Netflix, I binge watched the new Wednesday series
Mhm.
twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, twice all the way through. I loved it so much. Movies wise, I started watching Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind last night and
Mhm.
haven't finished it yet, but that's always been one that's been on my list to watch. So there's so many favorites like that I could just like rattle off. But there's this really great one that I watched. This isn't a favorite, but there's one with a guy called Paul Dano
Mhm.
where he plays the singer of the Beach Boys. The I forget the name for the title, but it's such an incredible movie about the one of the singer's life and his like because he suffered a lot with schizophrenia and I think it was schizophrenia, it might have been bipolar, but that the whole like movie is just so interesting to watch, like his creative dynamic and like balancing his personal life with music and stuff and being one of the biggest artists in the world is really, really great
Yeah, I should check that one out. I
for
should really.
sure.
I just finished watching Elvis, actually. It
Yeah.
was pretty good. It wasn't like my favorite ever, to be honest, but I
Yeah.
enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah, a lot of people have split opinions with that one. I definitely liked it, but I did want to see a bit more of
Yeah.
his life,
That's so
but it
true.
was great.
Yeah, I felt the same way. But onto the single, it sort of has to do with Hollywood, so I guess this merge is like pretty good.
Yeah.
It's called Once Upon a Line, and it's so good. So when was this song made for the first time?
It's kind of left in my mind when I started writing it, but I believe it's like early 2022 was where it came about. There was like a string of tunes which are like on the mixtape, which kind of came one after another, and then it halted a bit. But this one was like the first, and I remember it being like right early in the year, and just yeah, I was really excited about it at the time because I'd never done something with those kind of drums, and I was like, oh, this is really just felt really cool.
Hmm. And did the drums come first for this track, or was it more like the lyrics, or like maybe like the little voice things at the beginning?
Oh yeah, the voicings came to very much towards the end. I love background noise and just room noise and stuff like that in songs. It's just something I always loved. The song was made, like you say, it was produced first, which is something I never really do. I usually stick to a rule of kind of like if it doesn't sound good in like an acoustic guitar or piano, just strip back. It's not a good song. But with this one, I built the drums first, and I was so like enamored with them. I was like, I've got to do like something. And I think when I played the piano chords, and this song just came, it was like, oh, there it is. It's like so. But I tested the song on the piano afterwards just to check. But yeah, that was definitely how it came about. It's like more production first, and yeah, happy with it.
Yeah, awesome. And what was it like doing the production first? Was it sort of weird for you at first since it was like the first time?
Um, it it wasn't like the exact first time I've done it like that. It's more the first one of the times it's worked. Like, because it
Okay.
never really. I always know if I'm starting an idea production first, it's like I know I'm going down a, a bad route because I'm like, you know where this is gonna end up, so why are you carrying on with this? But on the rare occasion it does like pan out to your advantage because you can often like overproduce stuff if you just start on like drums because you're like, I'll add this, then I'm gonna add this, and then add this, and then there's like no room for the actual song. But yeah, this one was a rare occasion and it kind of panned out well.
And as you said, like you just keep adding and adding and adding. So when do you feel like a song is done? Like what says a song is done for you?
I feel like that point has changed from like the point where I started when I was like 20 to now, because back then a song would have been finished when there was lots of stuff in it, and I've been like, yeah, this is perfect, and then it would just be this like jumbled production. But I feel like it's there's just something that kind of tells you now where I know there's a few core elements in a song where I'm like, this is all the song needs to be uh to have a nice backing behind the actual songwriting,
Yeah.
because the listener can only listen to a few things before they start being like, oh, this is a bit like busy. So I always bear that in mind, and I'm like, let's just make sure the core elements are really strong, and then if I'm to the point where I'm like, I want to add something, and then I'm like, oh, this is just like noise. I'm like, okay, it's done.
And is this song about dreading Hollywood or loving it?
A bit of both. A
Okay.
bit of both. It's I come from quite like an isolated place in the UK. That kind of stuff is so far away from us. It's just not doesn't you only see it on TV and stuff. So and I'm sure people in places outside of major cities and stuff can relate. It's like that view of wanting so much more than where you are, what you are. It's kind of like you want so much, so much. And the song's kind of like speaking from like an alter ego that does have all of that. Obviously the verses are quite like arrogant and like boasting and in a way, and it speaks from someone that has got that to the point of it being quite dark and a bit like, oh, like you've got far too much. And then the choruses are kind of like speaking from an honest perspective of someone that doesn't really have that kind of stuff from here. That's like, I just want, I want to be successful so badly that I'll have the dark stuff, I'll have it all. It's like, just, I want more than I am in a way.
Okay, awesome. And where did this song like come from? Was it sort of just like a sort of wanting success, or was it just like inspired by like a show or something? Like where did it come?
um, yeah, I think, like I say, like the isolation where I'm from is quite, especially when you want to be in the music industry and stuff, and there's not many opportunities around here for that kind of thing. So I've grown up my whole life just kind of being like, oh, it's not really an option to do music. And then when I got lucky and managed to start rolling with stuff, you kind of you kind of realize how many roadblocks there are to stop you from getting to that point. So you almost kind of get a bit desperate. And I feel like in many ways, like that song was like the most desperate, like voicing of like my head at the time, being like, and it's not like a way of like, I don't do music because I want to be successful, but I love music and I want to be great at it.
Yeah.
Want to be just great, and that's all I want. In many ways, I like many artists, I'm sure they want the same, and I feel like that was just a super exaggerated way of kind of voicing what I felt at the time, and I feel like yeah, it was like the song was kind of that times 100. It's just that kind of yearning for something more.
But I love the song again. So good.
Thank you.
It's coming along with a music video. So what was it like to shoot that?
It was cold.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it was it's the first time I ever worked with this guy, Zach Watson, who directed it. Last mixtape I've directed all the videos myself. And this time I was like, I need someone else to like jump on board and help me, because doing the music and then having to think about that is so hard. But I knew Zach through a manager, and I knew he was like amazing at this kind of stuff. And we spoke about like influences and imagery and all that kind of stuff. So when it came to filming the video, I had like complete trust in him that I could just sit back and do my part. And it was cool. It was all shot in one day. It was in a house in Oxford. It was actually in like the producer who works with Zach. He was in his dad's house in Oxford somewhere. And yeah, it was great. The house was like so perfect. But yeah, it was really cold. We spent a lot of time outside really late at night. It's obviously like midwinter in England as well, so it's super cold. Yeah, I love the result.
This video is amazing.
Thank you.
If you could describe your music as an animal, which animal would it be and why?
Oh my god. If I could describe my music as an animal, maybe like a giraffe.
Do you know why?
I don't know. Like, it's got lots of different spots. It looks really weird. It's got a long ass neck, and it just looks so strange, but yeah, it's so practical, and it can probably bend into lots of different spaces. And I feel like that's what my music kind of does a lot. It kind of just takes lots of different shapes in the way it bends and stuff. And yeah, maybe if my music could eat off the top of tall trees, it would. So I'd say a giraffe.
That was great improv. Like the explanation was perfect, and it was on the spot.
I rattled my brain for that.
And my last question for you is, who are your favorite artists right now?
Ooh, my favorite artist right now. Oh God, there's so many artists. And I also, oh yeah, Pine Grove, like one of my favorite bands, like staple favorite bands. I watched them in Bristol last year. They're amazing. Gorillas. There's this new artist that's like just come out with one song. His name's The Dare. I've just heard of him from New York or LA or somewhere, and I've not stopped listening to that song. So I'll shout out to him, because yeah, he's probably my third pick there.
Awesome. But yeah, thank you so much for chatting with me. It was so much fun.
Thank you for your time.
Amazing.
Cheers. Yeah, thanks very much for having me.